do it. It's a Friday. Welcome, everybody, into Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle here on Big X Sports Radio, 1450, 96.1. And it is the end of the week. We're excited. I'm excited. How are you? Good morning to you. I hope you're having a great day wherever you're going, whatever you may be doing. We appreciate you taking us along. Justin Kalen high atop the crew chief's box.
That's right.
We got a great show today, as always. Drew Davis is going to get us caught up on some recruiting news, and there is some. And three-time national champion Indiana men's soccer coach Todd Yeagley joins us as well. Great day. Before we get too far into it, let's get to the headlines with Justin.
All right, these are your headlines from August 31st, the last day of August, by the way, on this Friday. Brought to you by Billy Joe's Gas and Food Mart, located on Highway 150 in Floyd's Knobs. Make sure you stop in for your hot breakfast. Fill your gas tank or hit up one of their daily lunch specials. The lunch special today, $4.99 for a fried or grilled chicken wrap with fries or onion rings. Former Louisville defensive end Elvis Dumerville retires from the NFL. He is the Cardinals' all-time leader in NFL career sacks at 105.5 and forced fumbles at 23. Yankees have acquired Andrew McCutchen from the Giants, and former Indiana Pacer David West retires after 15 seasons in the NBA. Those are your headlines for this August 31st. Brought to you by Billy Joe's Gas and Food Mart, located on Highway 150 in Floyd's Knobs. Lunch special today, $4.99 grilled or fried chicken wrap with fries or onion rings.
And a few other things in the headlines last night. There was some football. College football kicked off. Purdue and Northwestern in the Big Ten playing. Northwestern wins that game 31-27, so Purdue starting out at home with a big L.
Yep.
Loser.
It's a good game, though. It was a lot of fun to watch. It's great that Purdue was back. I posted something last night somewhere that I love that football is back, but I hated that it was Purdue that I was being forced to watch. Because I wasn't going to watch UCF UConn. That game was just out of control.
Well, at least you got to see Purdue lose.
That's true. They've got a freshman, though, Rondell Moore.
From New Albany.
Unbelievable. Kid is good.
He was the rage of the deal.
He's good.
I mean, he was the rage of the game. I saw someone say that Purdue may have gotten the recruiting steal of the year of 2018. But congratulations to him.
He set a school record for 313 all-purpose yards as a freshman.
That's unbelievable.
79 rush yards, 109 receiving, and 125 kick return yards.
That's a difference maker.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a difference maker. How do you end up at Purdue? I mean, why not? I mean, he's pretty good. Why not go to a good program?
Maybe nowhere else recruited him.
Very possible. Or maybe he's an engineering student.
Sure.
You know, because I was having a conversation. We did the Floyd Central game last week, and I was talking to, is it Cole? Cole Hussing?
Yep. Before
the game about, he was kicking. I coached his father. And but so I was talking to him about how he got into it. Did he just grow up kicking? Nope. Just coach one time told him, hey, if you want to spot on the varsity, you may want to learn how to kick. He learned how to kick. I mean, that quick. And so there has to be some natural ability there. But he said he just works really, really hard at it. And very successful, but yeah, sometimes you make yourself.
Rondell Moore, by the way, was committed to Texas at one time.
Really?
Decommitted in December of 2017.
Oh, my gosh.
In which he took a visit to Purdue after that and then immediately committed.
Ooh, being close to home must be really important.
The Trinity product.
Oh, he's originally from New Albany. I was wondering, I'm like, oh, man, they didn't have him last year.
Don't forget about the text line, 502-414-1450, and that's exactly what Josh did. Says Jeff Brom was out-coached by Pat Fitzgerald. Don't be surprised if the Purdue hype train takes some hits this season.
We'll certainly see. That's strong, saying Jeff Brom got out-coached, because he is a pretty damn good one.
Yeah, it was easy to see, though. I mean, Purdue, just how improved they are under Jeff Brom in terms of the pass.
Saw that last year.
In terms of the passing game, yeah, and you did see a little bit of it last year, but their quarterbacks are so confident. They were making some tight throws last night that I thought, it's not a good throw, but it was right on target.
Well, that's on
right
Jeff Brom because I don't think those guys don't have that kind of talent.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. You can see the difference under Jeff Brom and what he's brought to the table.
Absolutely. Also, there's you're a big game, UConn and who?
UCF.
How'd that turn out?
Not pretty.
How bad did UCF beat them?
I think 56-17, I believe, was the final.
Maybe UCF is still good. Maybe they're still good.
They're consistent, I'll tell you that. They scored 14 points in every quarter.
Wow. Lost Scott Frost, now the head coach at Nebraska. Lost their top defensive player, who's now in the NFL. And they're still rolling.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
UConn's going to have a rough year.
It's UConn.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to have a rough year. They're UConn. Of course they're going to have a rough year. Let's see. What was one of the things I was going to talk about? Oh. God, this OSU saga continues. Zach Smith, the embattled, embarrassed, disgraced former assistant coach, is still at it. Somebody tell this dude to shut up. Shut your mouth. Every time you talk, you look like the biggest ass bag in the world.
Yeah.
Now, what was it yesterday?
Was that what he said? The media forced Urban to say
well,
nice
that's what he said that yesterday.
Yeah.
He goes, all that stuff Urban said, he was forced to say that the OSU is spineless. Yeah. That's why they fired Jim Tressel. Because he lied to the NCAA, you jackass. He broke the rules. Yes, that's why they fired him. See, this guy goes through life thinking there are no rules for him. He can do whatever he wants. He could beat his wife. He could order thousands of dollars worth of sex toys to the Ohio State football complex. He can have sex with staffers in there. It's all okay. It's the media's fault. It's all the media's fault. It's not his fault. And OSU is spineless because they took appropriate action. Also, a board of trustees from Ohio State resigned because he said he was disgusted with the fact that all they cared about was what the suspension was going to be. He said the meeting immediately went to how long the suspension was going to be, not if it would be any more severe. And he just didn't want a part of it, so he resigned.
I mean, can you blame him if you're sitting in that room?
No, I don't blame him.
Saying Urban should have at least 6 games, and they vote, let's give him 3. Yeah, I'd be out of there too.
But I'm thinking there wasn't even a consideration of how many. It was just the games. It was just a consideration of how many games he was going to suspend it. There was never a consideration for him to be fired. Although there is more than ample. He broke protocol. He made a lot of mistakes. A lot. He knew about this guy all along. He protected him. Urban Meyer's a liar. A proven liar. They got a whole staff full of people that have been nothing but involved in some very bad stuff. That's Ohio State for you.
Yeah, and it's almost like the Louisville situation that you're getting little pieces coming out a little bit at a time. I mean, there's going to be more continue to come out. It's just not a good look for Ohio State. Not at all.
Well, they're not doing a great job of managing it either.
Exactly, yeah.
Not doing a very good job. Paul Feinbaum, if you're familiar with him, the SEC blowhard, looks like a cartoon character. He does. Good Lord.
He really does.
He does. And he is an SEC blowhard. But he said this will be Meyer's last year.
Bold statement.
At first, I thought it was extraordinarily bold. But if this stuff keeps coming out and Zach Smith keeps running his mouth, something else is going to pop. Now you just had a board of trustee member resign. I don't know. I'm not so sure that's over.
And you're sitting here saying "shut the hell up" to Zach Smith. What is Urban Meyer doing? He's probably sitting at home like, Zach, shut up. Stop talking.
Every Ohio State fan is saying, shut up.
Stop talking.
He is such a douchebag. I mean, Zach Smith has got to be, oh my God, he's done in football.
Oh, yeah.
Done. Who would want that toxic, idiotic moron? What an idiot.
Yeah, I would venture to say he's done as well. I mean, what's he going to get, a high school job? No.
Oh, no.
Certainly.
He's a wife beater.
I mean, I could see him maybe getting another college job down the road. But yeah, not going to be
down what
soon.
Road? It's going to be a long road.
Yeah, for sure.
He needs, see, here's the thing. He needs to go rehabilitate himself. But when Ohio State sent him to rehabilitation for something, he stayed 4 days and left. Because that tells me all I need to know right there. He doesn't need anybody's help. He's got this. He's in good shape. It's you all. It's you all that are going nuts. It's you all that are forcing Urban Meyer to say certain things. It's you all that are spineless. It's you all that are hurting my kids. That's all the crap that's been coming out of his mouth. God, he needs to be shut up. He needs to be put in his place. He needs to be in jails where he needs to be. The best thing for his kids is to have him away from them. I understand now. I see probably what his wife was dealing with. Yeah. This guy's a loose cannon, man. He's dangerous.
Oh, and this is all really unfortunate because, well, for Zach Smith anyways, not for the rest of us, but Zach Smith came out on Twitter to try to clear the air, give his side of the story, and it's caused nothing but more issues. It's just funny.
Make sure you hit up the text line. You guys did a great job yesterday.
Awesome.
502-414-1450. Let us know if you got any questions coming up. We got Sammy Jacobs on the show today, Drew Davis. So fire some questions in, thoughts, whatever. Or if, just comments in general. Bust it up.
502-414-1450.
It's also Free Lunch Friday from Bubba's 33 in Clarksville.
We got a question today.
We will. It'll be based on yesterday's show.
Hopefully you listened yesterday.
Hopefully you did. Hopefully I did. But Free Lunch Fridays from Bubba's 33 in Clarksville. Tomorrow, speaking of Bubba's 33, the watch party, baby. College football is on. A full slate of games for Saturday. Of course, Indiana taking on Florida International. That's at 7 o'clock. We'll certainly be at Bubba's watching that. But there are a ton of other games. Louisville's taking on Alabama tomorrow night. They've got 50 big screen TVs. All the games will be on. Michigan, Notre Dame. And I'm sure there's tons of other games that I'm not even calling out. But lots of giveaways every hour.
Don't forget Auburn, Washington.
Don't forget Auburn, Washington. That, you know what? I like Chris Peterson.
Yeah.
I like Washington's coach. He was at Boise State. I always liked him. I liked him from the moment that I was watching them play Oklahoma in that, was it like 2008 Fiesta Bowl or wherever they were?
Something like that, yeah.
And they ran all these trick plays to win the game or one to score and then the 2-point conversion. They ran the Statue of Liberty to perfection.
Washington's a kind of a trendy playoff pick.
Well, they were didn't they make the playoffs a couple years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, yeah.
I mean, what a hell of a job he's done.
Actually, I don't know that they did.
I think they did. I thought they did. But what a heck of a job that he has done out there. Great job. We've got a ton to talk about today. Told you who was on the show. Jameis Ramsey, highly sought after 5-star recruit. I think he's a 5-star, right?
Yes.
Guard will be attending Hoosier Hysteria on September 29th in Bloomington. So once again, a parade of all-stars.
4-star.
Will be in attendance.
Crystal ball projections for Jameis Ramsey. 75% Louisville, 25% Indiana.
What?
It's the only two on there, though.
I will be shocked if he picks Louisville over Indiana.
No. Also has offers from Miami, Texas Tech, and LSU.
So he's not as highly sought after as I thought.
No, he has more. NC State, Oregon, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, Baylor, Florida, Illinois. I can go on.
But some people think this may be the right pick for Archie's offense, or his defense, more importantly. The defensive-minded guard. We'll see. See how that turns out. Free Lunch Friday. We got to take a break. I'll think of a question in there. We'll be back with more here on Indiana Sports Beat on Big X Sports Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you want to get your day off to a good start, then stop at Billy Joe's Gas and Food Mart on Highway 150 in Floyd's Knobs. While you're filling your gas tank, you could fill your own tank with a hot breakfast or try one of Billy Joe's daily lunch special. Billy Joe's Gas and Food Mart opens at 5 a.m. and everything is made fresh daily. And if you bring your own mug, coffee is only 50 cents. And Billy Joe's also has free air. The best place to start your day is at Billy Joe's Gas and Food Mart on Highway 150 in Floyd's Knobs.
Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar.
At Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers, we're proud that so many of our clients recommend us to other people who need our help. It means we must be doing things right. And it's a great compliment to know that so many people trust us to take care of their family and friends. So thank you, Louisville, for spreading the word and making us your choice of law firms.
Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar. 888-8888.
Yeah, welcome back to the program, Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle here on Big X Sports Radio on this Friday, August 31st. For real. We are a day away from September 1st. That's unbelievable.
Very.
But it's good because, what is September 1st?
Football?
Lots of it. Oh, what happened to my... Dun, 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 dun.
You talked too fast there. I was on it. You talked too fast.
Man, we... Lots of games tomorrow, and I'm excited. Indiana taking on Florida International to see what they're like. Louisville's taking on Alabama. Washington, Auburn, Notre Dame, Michigan. Big 8 o'clock game on that one. There we go. Welcome back to college football kickoff. Did you see the email that Mark Jurich sent to Vince Tyre, the athletics director at U of L? Mark Jurich, son of Tom Jurich, former athletics director at U of L. He starts off, number one, you can package this however makes you most comfortable, but I question, comma, as should everyone else, comma, are you part of the problem? Is your ego so fragile that you cannot celebrate the man who preceded you? That's number one. Number two, and this is a letter to Vince Tyre from Mark Jurich. The vision unprecedented growth wins first-class facilities, world-class coaches, sponsorships, partnerships, conference realignments, conference championships, World Series, bowl games, national championships, the campus, the city, the state, etc., etc., etc. All Tom. How quickly one forgets. That's Mark Jurich. Your deliberate dereliction of duties, unprofessional conduct, bullying, and breach of your fiduciary obligations cannot be isolated events. I'm sorry, is he talking about his father now?
All right.
The culture has now culminated with an FBI investigation, which all happened under your dad's watch, implicating certain members of the university men's basketball program in a scheme of fraud and malfeasance in the recruitment of student athletes. Does he forget that all happened under his dad's watch? That's why your dad was fired? You idiot. What a moron. Why are people such morons? Mark Jurich and Zach Smith should be put into a room.
Oh, it's all about talking. Stop talking.
It's because they think they're so important. You know, there are certain people in this world who think that they're way more important than they are. Some you may know. Some may be close to you. Closer than you never know. Could be in the next office. But they just They can't help themselves. They can't get out of their own way. And it's sad because everybody else is just sitting there looking at you, shaking their head. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly an interesting situation. I brought it up a little bit ago, but stuff continues to just come out of Louisville. And did you hear about the whole seats thing? They moved his seats.
No, that was probably what started it. What was that?
Well, they moved his seats from, in basketball, they moved it from behind the bench to the other side of the stadium on the other corner. Maybe a few rows up, but I mean, it's pretty much the same seat. Well, in football, they moved him from the 50-yard line to the 20-yard line. Point is, he has free tickets, and you're going to gripe about it? Like, really? The university probably should have cut ties with you.
I think he is confusing the fact of someone that is feted, welcome back, championed, and those that are persona non grata. He's in the latter.
Yeah.
He's in the latter category, and it's lost upon him. And the more he runs his mouth, he's going to end up at the 10-yard line.
If they're at all, they might just take it away.
What an idiot.
But I mean, along with his 8 free tickets he gets for every game, this dude also gets 2 parking passes.
Hugh, thanks a lot for following the show. We appreciate it. He's down in Tennessee. Speaking of that, new website's up, indianasportsbeat.com. You can go there, register, have all the shows sent to you. You don't have to worry about missing a single one. Also, we are on iTunes. We're on Google Play.
Easy to find us.
SoundCloud. All of the above. You can find us all there now. I've been on iTunes for, this will be the second day, but yesterday I found out after being on for a day, we had listeners in the UK and Sweden already.
I like it.
Love it. That gives us listeners in Australia. That's 2 continents, 3 continents. We're on 3 continents. Australia, Europe, and America now.
Come on.
North America. Sweden and UK, Australia. We've got them Utah, California, Texas, and, of course, all across the state of Indiana. A little closer to home. We appreciate all of you.
502-414-1450 is the text line if you want to get in touch with the show. We'd love to hear from you.
Captain Andrew Luck, the Colts were in action last night. There were some pro games, right?
Yes.
Didn't miss those scores. I think the Colts beat the Bengals.
They did, yes. And those teams, this was the 16th preseason in a row where the Colts and the Bengals played each other in the last game.
Well, maybe it sounds like it's a thing.
And then they
are close by each other.
Then they come right back and they play in the first week of the regular season.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
Captain Andrew Luck. If you're a Twitter follower, Captain Andrew Luck is an account you should probably follow. He's got like 250,000 followers.
Sheesh.
Dearest mother, and so ends our exercises. End of the preseason. The unit bested the Tiger Men, but the damage is not permanent. Now the hour is upon us. Our true campaign begins. Where it shall take us, I know not. But I believe in my men. I believe in General Reich. And I believe in my sidearm. Andrew. That would be Captain Andrew Luck of the 1776 Indianapolis Colts. A great Twitter account to follow if you're a Twitter person, Captain Andrew Luck. He's hilarious.
Colts won 27-26 last night, by the way.
Ooh.
Good one.
Squeaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, before that, before the game, dearest mother, the unit moves out this morning to Cincinnati to battle a unit of Tigers for one final exercise. Do not fret. I shall not see action. Likely nor shall their leader, Captain Dalton, a commander so intense, it has been said his head is ablaze. I miss you, Andrew. Of course, Andy Dalton, quarterback of the Tiger Men, Cincinnati Bengals, with a full, frothy head of red hair.
Can we call him that for the rest of the year? Tiger Men?
If you don't,
that's way better than the Bengals.
If you don't, I'll be highly disappointed. The Tiger Men. I mean, he has like names like it for all of. What was it? What was the Seahawks? The Seabirds or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Birds by the Sea. Great account to follow. It keeps you entertained. Keeps me entertained at least. But I'm so excited football's back, man. All of it. I mean, I like watching all of it. I like watching the big Michigan Notre Dame. You know, it's pageantry. That's history.
That should be a fantastic game.
Tradition. Yeah, you know what? It should be a good game. I've heard some good things about Notre Dame and lots about Michigan. It's going to be interesting to see Michigan's offense. I know their defense is going to be good. They already had a good defense last year, and I think it's gotten a little bit better. But the offense, they've got a quarterback that maybe they're missing piece.
Speaking of football, last night, our boy Shaquem Griffin led the Seahawks in tackles.
Not surprised, man. When I was first talking to him, this is the guy that has one arm, came from Central Florida, who got no respect from a lot of people. He didn't get a lot of respect from a lot of people. I was like, I've seen this dude play. I don't care if he's got no arms. This dude is a player. And so I remember there was talk before the draft about, you can't. Please. Didn't he do one of the liftings one-handed, like some crazy number?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the exact number, but yeah, the kid's going to be good.
He's already good.
Yeah. But he's only going to get better as his career goes on.
Dude's a player.
With an A.
Absolutely. Give us a text on the text line, 502-414-1450. 502-414-1450.
Drew Davis coming up.
A chair umpire is under fire.
A what?
In tennis, the U.S. Open.
Oh, a chair umpire.
He was coaching he came out down off of his chair, and this is the middle of a match, I think, and he's coaching one of the players in some form. Roger Federer didn't like it, took exception to it. He said, I don't care what he said. Go back to the chair. I've never seen that before.
Apparently, the guy he was talking to was, there was a little bit of health concerns with him. I guess maybe overheating or. And that's what that was about.
Then that should end that right there. Boom. See, why does that not end that right there? Why is it a discussion on ESPN now?
Right. Well, I mean, there was an audio recording of the conversation, and basically he was just, I want to help you. I've seen your matches. You're great for tennis, and I can see that. I know this is not you. So, I mean, for me.
Whoa. That's now hold on. Hold the phone. He sounds like he's down there having a love fest. That doesn't sound like a concern.
Well, I mean, to me, it shows good cognizance by the referee.
Because he's getting his ass kicked? You want to go down there and fluff him up?
Well, I don't see it as that.
What, did he
if you've seen this player play.
Did he talk to the other person?
It doesn't appear that way.
Well, why? Okay, well, why? It's the same conditions for everybody right there. I saw the video. He didn't seem to be on the verge of passing out. He was sitting down in between matches, listening to him jaw.
Basically,
don't they have medical staff for that?
Right. Kyrgios is who it was, and the umpire, or the referee rather, thought it seemed like he had a lack of interest in the match. And he said if it continues, he would need to take action.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, if you've seen this guy play so many times and you're watching him, whether he's losing or not, whether you're watching him and he's not acting the same way he normally does, yeah, you kind of got to show concern there. I don't disagree with this. Referee playing it safe.
Well,
some might see as an advantage.
Playing it safe how, though? Well, I don't get it. So,
I mean, if you let something happen on the court under your watch.
What if this guy's got something on his mind? Everybody just doesn't perform to peak performance every time. And that's what happens. It's called sports.
Yeah.
You get your ass kicked. That's your learning lesson. I mean, if this guy's out there staggering or something, it looks like he has a potential health problem, that's one thing. But trying to get into this guy's head? Give me a break. Who the hell are you, Dr. Phil? Get your ass back in the chair. Let's take a break. When we come back, we got Drew Davis. We're going to get caught up on some recruiting news here on Indiana Sports Beat. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Jim Coyle. When I'm not on the road covering the Hoosiers, you can find me at Bubba's 33 on the northeast side of I-65 at Veterans Parkway in Clarksville. Bring the team in for that post-win meal in the family dining area or just meet friends for happy hour. Bubba's has bold burgers, hand-tossed pizzas, mouth-watering wings, and a list of select local craft brewers for the coldest beer in town. Bubba's 33 in Clarksville. Burgers, pizza, beer.
Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar.
If you've been injured, you may be wondering, what can a lawyer do for me? I'll tell you right now. On average, injured people with a lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one. And at Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers, we're all about getting accident victims the money they deserve. Now that you know the facts, don't settle for less.
Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar. 888-8888.
Welcome back to Indiana Sports Beat here on Big X Sports Radio. Joined now by Drew Davis from Peaks.com, brought to you by Brooks Roofing. When Mother Nature gives you a little bit too much to handle, they're exactly what you need. BrooksRoofingIN.com. Drew Davis, how's it going, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Great. Lots of news in regards to recruiting on the recruiting trail. Indiana has Jameis Ramsey coming in, I saw on Hoosier Hysteria.
Yeah, that's. I think that's definitely kind of somewhat of a big deal because Jameis Ramsey had been saying he was going to potentially visit for a while, and nothing was happening. So, it was beginning to be a situation where people were wondering, okay, is this ever going to happen? But he sets the visit, and for Hoosier Hysteria, and everything Jameis Ramsey said is he wants something with somewhat of a big-time feel, big-time atmosphere for his school. And for Indiana to get him on campus for Hoosier Hysteria, that's definitely a big step in the right direction. And obviously now they'll have to put on a great visit, but it's definitely a positive sign.
And he's, of course, a guard, which Indiana's in need of. And he seems to be a guard that would work really well into the Archie Miller system.
Yeah, he's a big, physical, strong guard. He's probably one of the stronger guys I saw in the EYBL. His shooting's getting better. He can handle the ball, and he's a really solid defender. He defended Cole Anthony at the Peace Jam and did a really good job on him. Not too many people are able to defend Cole Anthony, but Jameis put his best foot out there and was able to get in front of Cole Anthony and kind of just D him up a little bit, and that kind of impressed me.
Yeah, and Justin mentioned earlier that the 247 crystal ball has Louisville at 75%, which I put very little to no stock in that crystal ball ever, but that one's a little shocking to me. I would find it hard to believe to see someone pick in Louisville over Indiana.
Yeah, whenever Jameis Ramsey did some visits over the summer, he could have made the trip to Indiana for an unofficial, but he stopped at Louisville but didn't make the trip up to Bloomington after that. So I think people were looking bad a little bit, and that was certainly a good sign for Louisville. But I think that's mostly where that is coming from.
What, as far as talk out on the circuit, though, is there any favorite?
I would say if someone's saying there's a favorite right now, they're kind of somewhat guessing because Jameis Ramsey is likely not going to make a decision anytime soon. He's going to be one of those guys that could potentially go into the spring and most likely will go into the spring. So there's a long way to go in this one.
And there usually is. Hoosier Hysteria coming up on September 29th at Bloomington, Indiana, at the Simon Scott Assembly Hall. They'll have now Jameis Ramsey. You've got Trace Jackson Davis, who is on his official visit to UCLA this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, both Trace Jackson Davis and Keon Brooks Jr. on their official visits to UCLA this weekend.
Great weekend to go to UCLA, go to Los Angeles for the long holiday weekend. Very smart.
I know, man. What a lot of people don't understand is, regardless of how UCLA basketball is doing, whether Steve Alford is, an excellent coach or not, UCLA has so much to sell. You got the whole LA atmosphere,
beach.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have
the beach.
How many other schools? How many other schools can say that they have LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Paul George, Russell Westbrook all coming there to play in open runs? I mean, that's an attractive sell for kids.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, UCLA is still UCLA. They have 11 national championships hanging from the banners. And they've done well. It's not like that was the only thing they've ever done. I mean, they've had success, and Steve Alford's had some success there, so to speak. I mean, they haven't done much in the tournament, but of course, he's never done anything in the tournament. But it is definitely a draw. Right now you've got what's the kid's name from Indiana's playing there, or he left already, didn't he?
I know they still have Chris Wilkes. Chris
Wilkes. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So they've already drawn Indiana talent. So
it certainly didn't help, it certainly didn't work against UCLA. That at the time, Tom Crean was still in Indiana, but if you look at things the way they played out, if Crean actually did land Wilkes, you really wonder if Indiana's sitting in the spot they are right now, because if that happens, Archie Miller's likely not at Indiana.
Yeah, that's probably true. That is very, very possible. True. Great point. So things work out the way they're supposed to, luckily. Also, what else is going on in the world of recruiting?
A guy to follow will be James Bouknight. He may visit Indiana at some point. His people are saying that they may and likely will visit, but nothing's been set there. That's one that I think is interesting. Bouknight has a really good relationship with UConn head coach Dan Hurley. Hurley was on Bouknight when he was at Rhode Island, and Bouknight was hurt when he got the UConn job, but Hurley immediately offered him a scholarship. So that relationship's a strong relationship. But Indiana has some ties to Bouknight because he plays in the PSA Cardinals program, and that's a place where the IU staff has a good relationship, and you obviously have Jake Forster on your roster. So that's a recruitment I think you can kind of keep an eye on. And then you have Armand Franklin making his visit to Purdue, as well as Brandon Newman. And Armand Franklin's coming off his visit to Indiana. That from everything I've heard, it went well, and Indiana has a real chance to maybe come back and kind of slide in and get Armand away from Purdue. But with Purdue having the last visit, that's certainly a positive thing for the Matt Painter staff.
And now maybe it gets a little more interesting at the guard with Armand Franklin and Brandon Newman coming back to school. Brandon Newman, if you hadn't heard, he was going to Monteverde in Florida. Now he's coming back to Valpo, we talked about. And then now with Jameis Ramsey coming to Hoosier Hysteria, you're going to have a full complement of guards to chase, at least.
Yeah, it's certainly better. The situation at guard, recruiting-wise, certainly I know the staff probably feels a little better this week than they did last week, knowing that they're going to get Jameis Ramsey on campus. That in itself, you have a guy saying he wants a big-time atmosphere. All you have to do, for maybe something to happen is him come campus and have a great time. You look at a guy like DJ Carton, he goes to Ohio State, has an amazing time, really, really likes it, and ends up going there. So see, like that's all it takes in recruiting to get a guy. You just never know. But if you get a guy on campus, you have a chance.
Absolutely, especially during a period like that. Talking with Drew Davis from Pigs.com, Assembly Hall is going to be packed. It's going to be absolutely freaking crazy. The atmosphere will be electric. You're going to have Trace Jackson Davis. You're going to have Keon Brooks. You're going to have Romeo out on the floor and all that going on. It's going to be a spectacle, and it could be enough to sway somebody.
Yeah, it definitely could be. You know, we think back to Hoosier Hysteria last year when Darius Garland and Romeo Langford walked across that court. That was something that I would have never dreamed to have been that big of a deal, and the ovation and just the spectacle that it was something that truly kind of amazed me, honestly. And I think it's going to be really fun and interesting for me personally, just to see what that's like for those guys this year.
Absolutely. Drew Davis from Pigs.com. I cannot thank you enough. Hope you have a great holiday weekend. And we'll talk to you on Tuesday, maybe. Tuesday. We're off on Monday. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that was throwing me off, too.
All right, brother. Have a great weekend. We appreciate you.
You too, man.
Drew Davis from Pigs.com. Getting us caught up on the recruiting updates. Ouch. Sorry.
Quite a bit going on for the end of August.
Yeah, it's jumped up there, man. Especially a lot of guard action, as I talked about. We talked about the other day. Brandon Newman had left Valpo and was attending Monteverde in Florida in an academy, but his mother is taking a turn in health wise, so he came back and he's going to be attending the Valpo again. So that's nice to have him back. It's unfortunate that's under those circumstances.
Good decision by him, though.
Yeah, it's great. It's good to have those kids back in the state. Well, like you said, it's unfortunate that's under those circumstances. Yeah. But so it's going to be that'll be a fun year. But looking forward to all that as well. We're a month away. Well, actually, 29 days. Well, no, 30 days really. So yeah, a month exactly. We are 1 month out from Hoosier Hysteria.
Getting there.
Getting closer to basketball season for everybody. Everybody's a lot in this area. Everybody's basketball fans. Doesn't matter who your team is. Everybody's kind of waiting for basketball season. But I don't want to shortchange football, man. I've been waiting for this for a long time. It's fun. Speaking of fun, we're going to be having lots of it at Bubba's at the watch party tomorrow. There.
That's right.
Football kicks off it's already kicked off, but the big Saturday kickoff. All kinds of games, but Indiana playing Florida International. That game's at 7. We'll all be out there having a watch party. They'll be giving away prizes each hour. Games going on all day, so you don't have to wait for the IU game to come on. Louisville's playing Alabama tomorrow night. Michigan's playing Notre Dame. Auburn's Washington. What time's the Auburn-Washington game? Is that a day game or
I think that's a night game, too.
Because especially if it's out west, they're already behind us, so I figured it would be. Man, they're going to have all those games stacked up. That drives me nuts, but thank goodness you're at a place like Bubba's that you can watch 10 games at once if you want.
Washington-Auburn's actually 3:30.
Wow. Is it in Auburn? Where are they playing that?
It looks Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so neutral site.
In Atlanta?
Yep.
See, I always get confused because what do they call the Superdome?
Wasn't it just the...
It used to be just a Superdome, but it's... Yeah. Well, last time I was down there for the bowl game, the Sugar Bowl, it was a big Mercedes-Benz sponsorship up on the thing. So I didn't know if that always kind of confused me.
It don't matter because the original stadium's gone now.
What original stadium?
The Superdome they tore down.
No, I'm talking about in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Superdome.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Georgia Dome.
Georgia Dome, yeah. Yep.
Which that amazes me, too. That thing wasn't that old.
No.
Indiana played there in the 2002 National Championship, and it was kind of new then, I thought. It's like the Hoosier Dome came and went. I was like, wow, really? And they built all that, and they can't
keep it for anything?
I'm thinking, It's like the Astro Dome. They're not going to tear that thing down. They're not. It just sits there, and it's kind of dwarfed by Reliance Stadium down there in Houston. But it was just too old. But they don't want to tear it down just because of historical purposes, I guess. And But yeah, it's something.
A couple texts in the show, 502-414-1450 if you want to do the same. JR texted in for the first time. He asked, are you surprised Brom was yelling at the refs on the last play or on the last penalty instead of his player? Hashtag boiler down.
Well, surprised? No, I guess he probably did that later because if coaches can get a hold of themselves, they'll save that yelling for players at another time if they can.
Away from the public eye.
Exactly. I was going to say a little less publicized. Yelling at an official is perfectly acceptable. But yeah, I'm sure frustration was setting in from there of not being able to score a point. Well, they scored a little bit, but not being able to score enough after being down 31-17, I guess, at half.
Yep.
They didn't allow another point, but unfortunately it didn't do them any good because they didn't score. So, no, I guess I'm not. But thanks for the text. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Keep it coming. 502-414-1450.
Joker texts in also and says, no live show on Monday?
No, I guess not. I'm always up for it, but seems like every time a holiday comes around, there's like, there's no show. So
it's not confirmed yet. We haven't got our schedule yet.
Okay. So I'm good with whatever.
We may be here.
Who knows?
I know Don Fisher won't be.
That's true.
He's got the day off regardless.
He's already made sure that we knew that. So he even told me twice, and I forgot. I forgot again until this now. It's like I just keep going. My head's down, chugging along. We got another day, and it wasn't tomorrow. Boom, tomorrow. Oh, oops, I'm sorry. It's Saturday. It's like I'll wake up tomorrow in a panic. Look at the clock, and it's 8 o'clock.
Better be here on time.
A heart attack, my heart jumping out of my chest. Let's see. Almost time to take a break.
Almost.
We've got Todd Yeagley coming up. He'll be here in 7:20. And then, of course, it being football kickoff week, that's why we got Coach Yeagley in. Football.
Didn't matter which kind of football.
I didn't specify. I just said it's football kickoff week.
They've got a pretty big weekend coming up.
Absolutely. Had a big weekend last weekend, but this is opening weekend at home. I forget who all they play. We'll talk about it in the interview, but I forget. But it's it's a bunch of East Coast teams who, those guys are always good.
They played Notre Dame tonight.
Oh, really?
Oh, no. I lied.
I was going to say.
That's at UConn. It's playing Notre Dame.
Okay. At Indiana?
Yeah.
At IU?
Yeah. It's the Adidas IU Credit Union Classic.
Wow. What a great
tournament.
What a tournament to go watch.
Every team in the tournament is in the top 25. You got UConn at 18, Notre Dame at 24, Dartmouth at 22.
And Indiana is number 2.
Correct.
Man, but you talk about, I wish I could see those games. I loved it last year. Those East Coast teams, man, it's like soccer and lacrosse. Those are their games.
Yep, they can play.
They'll definitely knock it out. But yeah, if you want to get up to watch some soccer, head on up to Armstrong Stadium this weekend. A bunch of good ones up there. But we have Todd Yeagley coming up at 7:20. But yes, absolutely perfect. We'll do a little football.
Just let me act like it was.
Okay.
Make you seem smart.
Oh, well, I don't. You could work at that all you want. I don't think it's good. That's a fruitless endeavor, unfortunately, my friend. I appreciate the effort, but that's a fruitless endeavor. But let's take a break. When we come back, we got more to talk about. Let's talk about a little football and whatever you'd like to. Give us a text on the text line 502-414-1450. It's Free Lunch Friday from Bubba's. We'll be back with a trivia question from yesterday's show. Hey, if you're in the market for a new truck or tractor, car, or ATV, you need to be at Hollis Auction Service on November the 10th. Located on Highway 150 in Greenville, just west of Highway 335, Hollis Auction Service also needs items for the auction. If you're looking to sell, call Billy Joe Hollis today at 502-664 1606. That's 502-664-1606. Make sure you're at Hollis Auction Service in Greenville on November 10th.
We all want a winning smile for those championship photos, and that's exactly what you will get at Reynolds Family Dentistry in Sellersburg. Reynolds Family Dentistry has been serving the dental needs of Hoosier families for over 30 years. Let Doctors Roger and Jay Reynolds take care of your family. Just off of I-65 at 809 South Indiana Avenue in Sellersburg. Call 812-246-3368. That's Reynolds Family Dentistry, 812-246-3368.
No, we're not, because it's Friday, baby. It is TGIF. Welcome back to Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle here on Big Egg Sports Radio. Justin Kalen, High Tops Crew Chiefs box, keeping the engine spinning.
That's right.
Keeping us on track as we are heading towards the college football kickoff Saturday, and I am pumped. Before I forget, it is a free lunch Friday from Bubba's 33 in Clarksville. Here's your question.
And if you've won before, you can't win.
That's correct. And we know that Joker won once, and he has not been able to collect, but we'll get that taken care of for him. Today's question, what 21-year IU beat writer, veteran, was on the program yesterday? Making it easy for you today. That's a softball.
They get a T-shirt too, or just lunch?
They can have one, but I don't have any larges right now.
Oh, yeah.
They can have a medium if they want. But, or I'll try to get Bubba's to throw a shirt in. But lunch for sure. What 21-year veteran beat writer was on the program yesterday? That's it. That's pretty easy.
This shouldn't take very long.
No, it should not. 502-414-1450 is the text line. Reach out to us. And we'll get you taken care of. We're going to be there tomorrow. Have you figured out what time you're making it tomorrow?
I will be there likely in the middle of the first quarter sometime.
Oh, now you're going to make the kickoff.
Won't make kickoff, no.
Moving day?
Not quite. Have to work tomorrow.
Always a sad thing for a Saturday.
Yeah. Especially
Especially on kickoff Saturday.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, you know.
Joker says, no live show. Woo! Get to sleep in. Like, you know, Joker, you could sleep in whenever you want.
Maybe he's talking about us get to sleep in.
Yep, perhaps.
Even when I get to sleep in, I like I said, it never fails. I wake up in a panic. It's like Groundhog Day. I'll wake up and I see that clock and my heart jumps out of my chest because I'm so in tune to get up, get up, get up.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
Oh,
On
my
Saturday
God.
and Sundays, I live it up.
Well, I mean, I'd like to, but it's just I do until I wake up and then panic sets back in. Did Lamar Jackson see some action last night?
I don't think so.
Did they play last night?
They should have played. Yeah, hang on.
They played the Redskins?
You are just flying through some questions right
Well,
now.
I'm saying that because we
Yes.
keep ESPN on,
Yeah.
and they're showing some highlights.
Yeah, they do.
And it's Lamar Jackson's on the field, and actually they're showing a lot of his passing. He's spitting some passes in some windows, man. Tight windows.
Yeah, he was 9 of 15 passing, 109 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions.
Oh, he got a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Because they ran a bootleg, and it was all Lamar, baby. He did a little shoulder roll into the end zone.
How about Simi Cobbs Jr.? He's the only Hoosier that I've seen that played last night, but he had 3 catches for 75 yards on 4 targets.
Big time, because Simi Cobbs is one of those guys that is on the bubble for making a team. There was a lot of teams that played last night.
Yep.
Who else? So he was the only one that played of the IU guys?
I couldn't find any other of the IU guys that played.
A lot of them were in action.
Yeah, their teams were, yeah.
Yeah, and some of them we had talked about the day before, or maybe it was yesterday, actually. It was yesterday. That their last game may be, something they need to really shine in. And he was one of those guys that's on a cut list, on that border. But that's a great performance. That may, and see, that's the thing about the NFL. That could be what sways. And is it because he's that much better? No, I'm not saying he's not. But can you imagine being, if there's two of them, they're right neck and neck, and this guy just happens to have a 3-catch, 75-yard game at the end, but maybe you didn't get those throws? Would that suck to lose out like that?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
I'll tell you what sucks, though. I'm pretty sure today's cut day for the NFL, but
that's what I think it is. Yeah.
They used to go from 90 to 75 and then down to 53, but they changed the rules, so now today they're going from 90 to 53.
Wow.
They've got to cut 37 guys somehow, some way off their team.
I thought they still got that extra 4 weeks.
I don't think so.
Huh. I'll be darned. Yeah, that's a lot of guys to cut, man.
Yeah.
And you know, with that many, that half of them got to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, half of them are probably like, all right, there's some separation at least, but the other half is probably on the line with the same amount of, on the other side of it. Rough day either way if you don't make it.
Right.
I mean, it kills those guys. Some of them would be able to be picked up by other teams, but some of them not.
I guess nobody knows who was on our show yesterday.
No.
I thought this was going to be an easy one. We got nobody taking the bait.
That's all right.
Free lunch, y'all. Free lunch.
That's why I did it early. Well, the winners have already won. They're ineligible. The text line's 502-414-1450. Today's trivia question is Free Lunch Friday from Bubba's 33. What 21-year veteran beat writer was on the show yesterday? Easy question. Lobbing a softball up. Joker's sitting wherever he is at work or whatever. He's dying. He's like, he knows the answer. And he's so waiting to send it in. And he can send it in, but we're not going to give it until later. But we appreciate everybody and all of our listeners. A lot of our listeners listen on the replay.
Yeah.
The people that don't live around here, the people that live in California and Texas and Australia. And so, too bad can't do something for those people, but can't do anything about it. But feel free to text us in on the text line now, 502-414-1450. We've spoken with Drew Davis already, and then coming up next, we'll have Todd Yeagley, the 3-time national champion coach from Indiana University men's soccer, as soccer gets underway. And as Justin pointed out, big soccer weekend up at IU with all top 25 teams playing in a tournament at oh my gosh.
Jerry Yeagley Field?
Well, it is at Bill Armstrong Stadium. That's what I couldn't think of. But yes, it is Jerry Yeagley Field at Bill Armstrong Stadium. That's where they hold the Little Five, if you're familiar with that. A big event.
Which everyone should be.
Yeah, a movie that you've probably never seen, Breaking Away.
I've seen Breaking Away. We've had this discussion.
I'm still shocked every time, then, that you've seen it, because it's from 1979, is why.
It's one of the exceptions of the rule.
It is a good one. It's about it's Little Five is a key part of the story. But Dennis Quaid's in that. It's pretty cool. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Coach Todd Yeagley from Indiana Men's Soccer. Stay tuned here on Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle right after this. This is Jim Coyle. When I'm not on the road covering the Hoosiers, you can find me at Bubba's 33 on the northeast side of I-65 at Veterans Parkway in Clarksville. Bring the team in for that post-win meal in the family dining area or just meet friends for happy hour. Bubba's has bold burgers, hand-tossed pizzas, mouth-watering wings, and a list of select local craft brewers for the coldest beer in town. Bubba's 33 in Clarksville. Burgers, pizza, beer.
Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar.
When you hire a lawyer, you deserve to be treated with courtesy and respect. At Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers, these are more than just words. It's how we treat each and every client who walks through our door. You want a lawyer who cares enough to listen, but you also need a lawyer who knows how to win. With us, you don't have to choose.
Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar, 888-8888.
Welcome back to the program, Indiana Sports Beat, here with Jim Coyle, and so graciously being joined by Coach Todd Yeagley from the Indiana men's soccer program, fresh off a huge weekend of games as they get the season underway. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You guys, you have a gauntlet of a schedule to begin with the Big Ten, but your preseason schedule is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, we have a philosophy with our program. We've always had it that, we try to start off the year with our non-conference schedule with games that, might be deep tournament or Final Four teams. Obviously, every year you can't predict, but you try to pick programs that are traditionally in those moments. Our scheduling, and again, when we do our scheduling, we're thinking about the experience when you do these a year or two out. And I knew I'd have an experienced group that could potentially handle this schedule. And, it's like anything. We're not afraid of any scenario out there. And if we're going to be exposed to something, we're going to find out pretty quick. And that helps us make corrections and move forward. So that's our philosophy, and it certainly, might make us drop one here or two when it comes to that first segment of the season, but I think in the end it will make us stronger.
Well, and I guess that's how you become an 8-time national champion, which is what Indiana is. 3 of those you were a part of. A great team last year. Last year was I guess a weird year. It was a year of being so close so many times. I remember so many games. The Big Ten itself came down to the last day with 4 teams fighting for that or 5 actually fighting for the tournament for the conference championship, which Michigan I think will ultimately win. Then the Big Ten tournament, it comes down to the last game. You guys get knocked out by Wisconsin, I believe, on PKs, if I remember right. And then even the national championship, you guys made it to the national championship game, but it seemed like you just kept knocking on the door with those guys, and they seem like they're due.
Yeah. I mean, this group's been really close in the sense, especially the Big Ten. I mean, we've been a kick away or so, or a play, or you run up to a keeper that's hot, or you get a call that doesn't go your way, and next thing you know, you're looking at second. Which again, obviously, it's a tough conference. Our goal is to win it every year, but that's very difficult to do. So yeah, for us to come away from, I'd say a play away from winning that regular season to penalty kicks are really a toss-up at the Big Ten tournament. So. And then we're 3 or 6 minutes away from either finding a goal ourselves or going to penalties in the national championship. So you could say we could have swept and been undefeated, and that would have been arguably the best year in our history, no question. And yet they kind of didn't walk away with the hardware. Statistically, and like what we saw performance was special, and that will always be something that we can look back and be proud of what that group accomplished. Going all the way undefeated to the final game. Again, the goals against average was a number that is staggering. The shutout number was staggering. We were in the top 5 of every category, offensively and defensively, at some point last year. So, ultimately it's all about getting results. And if you do things really well, a lot of details well, like we did last year, that follows. So I'm really pleased with what we did last year, but the group knows it's a new year. We lost a couple key people, and then a couple rotation leadership guys that, make differences. So we're heading into this year with a lot of optimism, and then coming off this past weekend, which tested us to the maximum with teams I think that could be in the Final Four with UNC and Wake. We definitely know we're right there. We're right there where we need to be. We just got to clean up some things, as you'd expect this time of the year.
And that, with that team being so close so many times, that may have been the best team in the history of Indiana to not win a title, which bodes well for this year, I would think.
Yeah, there's some motivation. I try to always let the guys think about the analogy. Just look a little bit in the rear mirror just to reflect and learn, but look forward more. If you're always looking back and trying to find, and playing for a revenge or to make up for what we didn't accomplish, you kind of losing some energy that's not necessary. So I know it's inside them. They're very driven. They want to have those moments. Being on the field and seeing the other team raise the trophy in that game, it's so hard to get there. You're so close. You want to be that player, that team. So we don't even have to really talk about it much, and we haven't. It's all about the process, and they were so present last year in everything they did. Every game was the most important game, and that's hard as a coach to have your team stay in that zone of focus. And I thought they did a great job. And that's clearly they're doing. They have to be able to execute what we provide, and they were doing that. So there's some extra motivation, no doubt. But it's not. There's nothing we can do. Last year is what it is. It's last year. Now this year's a new one.
And I'm with Coach Todd Yeagley of Indiana University, 8-time national champions, 3-time for Coach Yeagley. And speaking of this year, you guys got a loaded team again. You did lose Grant Lillard and Mason Toy, but, man, you've got Trey Muse and a whole host of Corey Thomas from down here, a whole host of guys back that are poised to make another run at the national championship.
We do have a lot of experience back, and that's always something you love to see as a coach and this team. It's confidence. They've been through a lot of situations, of battles. They've been down. They've led. They've had some disappointment. I think the way they responded from Friday night is a good example. I mean, they were very upset after that game, obviously feeling that we deserved better on the night. I thought the group did enough to win that game. A tie, I think they would have been still dissatisfied, and yet they make a great play at the end to win in overtime. But they moved on fast. They really did. I mean, I'd say by the post-game meal and on, they were like, let's go. Next game, UNC, let's get it. And that's a good sign. So obviously we got that result. Didn't play certainly to our performance standard, but I also like a team that finds a way to win when your day isn't going so well. And that's a good trait. So I think some of that extra inventory will help us, heading into the next game, which these games are just one after another. It's really easy to get up for these matches.
And that team last year, they were in a lot of games that were battles right to the very end, which they had to concentrate right to the very end. So, I would think that their minds are definitely forged along for this season. And then I talked earlier about the preseason, or not really preseason, the pre-conference games that are not for the faint of heart. You guys just played number 5 Wake Forest, a loss in double overtime, but you come back to beat number 3 North Carolina, any of those teams are going to be in there for the national championship with Indiana. So that was almost like a Final Four type of experience.
It was. I feel obviously with our group, with returning, we're capable of being there, and that's everyone's capable. But I think capable and has the firepower or experience to do it, and they've proven. And both those teams are too. That would not be a shocking Final Four if anyone would you expect Indiana, UNC, or Wake to be in it. A lot of people go, well, that certainly could be probable. So that was what was great about that trip. We might need to go on the road to win a big tournament game like we did in 12 to get to the Final Four against a caliber team like that, or obviously to win a championship, you got to get through those teams. So, but they also know, the most importantly, that regular season Big Ten title is really kind of itching at them. And every one of these games, we can't even think about the tournament right now. We can't. It's not even in our minds. Right now, it's these non-conference games, which will allow us to be in position to have a great opportunity, whether it's seeding or what have you. And I think having a home game last year as one of the top seeds really resonated with this group. But I'd say that's one of the more special experiences anyone can have is, winning a quarterfinal at your home field. And that was one of the most electric, fun experiences that, I've been involved with as a coach or player here. and I think they would love to have that opportunity again. So these games are all important. But getting back to the regular season Big Ten, it's not we want to beat, Rutgers because we want to get our best seed situation for the tournament. They want to beat Rutgers because they want to win the regular season title and raise that trophy before the end of the year, regular season ends. So I think everything lines up for a really focused game by game, platform. Which again, for a team that made it so far, it'd be easy for them to look that it's a national championship or not, and that there's so much that has to happen to ever get ourselves in that situation again.
And when it comes to soccer is the fastest growing sport in the world, and probably here in America now. But there are still some areas that it doesn't get the respect. And until my daughter started playing, I didn't really respect the game and like I do now that I know about it, and I'm blown away. For the casual person, what is the thing that the people probably just don't realize about this game that it sets itself apart from so many others?
Well, I think they could just start to go in the backyard and try to kick a ball for one, see if they can even manage that. Just the ability to do what our guys do with their feet is an incredible skill. It's not something that we all do as kids. We typically go to our hands first with sports that we grew up with playing and around our neighborhood or in school. So the fact of using your feet, but I think more importantly that we've been exposed, the regular sports fan that they may or may not have played soccer, they've been exposed to soccer now through our professional league, which is really becoming a very good league, and second most recently the World Cup, that they get to see the level of skill and physical superiority what these players have. Their ability to run and handle and do it at speed and execute such difficult maneuvers is an absolute treat to watch. I think people are really getting a good feel for that when they get to watch the high level. And so when they then able to, go to a college game, a high level college game, and see, hey, there's some guys out here that might be on their way into that team down the line. It's pretty neat for them to kind of get an early sneak preview of maybe our next, one of our mainstay U.S. national team players.
Yeah, you talk about unless you've seen it in person, you cannot get a true feel for it. And you talked about the experience last year at Armstrong Stadium. It was electric. I was fortunate to be there. It was awesome. It was like an outdoor assembly hall. So it was a great experience. And you guys, you've built this team, and you do it every year. It's not just with players from all over the place. You got a great core of regional players and even in-state players that you've built your program around.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. A lot of the core of our team through the years has been, we call the 4-hour radius. We go inside out, and we'll always start with our state. It's important that we get who we feel are the best players and ones that fit our system and culture the best. It's not always talent, but who fit that. And we've been very fortunate to bring those players consistently here. And when you grow up loving IU soccer and loving Indiana athletics, there's just a little something extra in those kids, what they give you. Hard to measure, but it's just kind of in them. And they just, they want to show their family, who's, a lot of times have a lot of IU pride because maybe they attended IU or a family member did. It just means extra. So, yeah, when you have, this past weekend, a couple Fort Wayne kids with Spencer Glass and Reese Buckmaster and Corey Thomas just down there in the southern part of the state in Corridon, doing so well, and Jordan Klein, coming in and doing a huge job for us in the back. And Jeremiah Gutschar right here from Bloomington, playing a huge role. It's pretty cool. And obviously we've got some kids from Chicago and Ohio in that 4-hour radius. And then when we need to go find those special players, if we don't feel like they're the right fits here, then they'll go to Colorado and bring in Dorsey, or we go out to New Jersey and bring Mason Toy, or we go out to Boston and bring Justin Renix. That's what we do when we feel like we need to get. And luckily IU has a national reach. So, but I think what you'll always see is a strong presence from Indiana and the Midwest.
Talking with Coach Todd Yeagley from Indiana University soccer program. And then there's Trey Muse. Well, you have one of the best goalies in the college game, Trey Muse, who's actually originally from Louisville.
Yes. Trey's been fantastic for us. And, again, Louisville's been a wonderful city for us with bringing top recruits through the years, starting back in the 80s and 90s, several that I got to play with that were from that area. And then since then, I mean, it's the John Michael Haydens to the Darren Yeagles to the Jay Diaz. I mean, you keep going. Obviously, most recently with Richard Ballard doing so well with Louisville FC. So it's just neat to see that tradition, and Trey will continue that. And hopefully we'll keep that strong Louisville pipeline coming to Bloomington.
Great to hear, Coach. Anything else you guys have coming up before we let you get out of here that you'd like to let the fans know about?
Well, our Adidas IU Credit Union Classic, it's the longest non-conference kind of tournament, even though we know our set opponents a little bit different sometimes the basketball non-conference where you play a winner or whatnot. But the Dartmouth-UConn weekend coming up is an absolute must if you want to see some great soccer. Both Dartmouth's been two-time Ivy League champs. They're going to be a tournament team. UConn is going to be a favorite in the Big East. They've won national championships, got a very storied soccer program. So we're going to be in for another fantastic challenge. But most importantly, our fans to again show why IU is a special place and a tough place for any opponent to come into. So hopefully we can get our fans out to Armstrong Stadium this Friday and Saturday, or Sunday rather.
Sounds good. Don't miss it. It's definitely you want to see some high-quality soccer. That's a fact. Coach Todd Yeagley, three-time national champion from Indiana. I can't thank you enough for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it for having me.
Thank you. Coach Todd Yeagley from the Indiana University soccer program joining us, as we are grateful to have him. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us today here on Indiana Sports Beat. Stay tuned. Kentucky Roll Call comes up next with TJ Walker, Nick Roush, and Trevor Kelsey. For Justin Kalen, this is Jim Coyle, and I'll see you on the radio.